Greetings, everybody. Keith here. Hoping everybody's having a good day, enjoying life, living life, loving life. Want to remind everybody, please hit that like, share, and subscribe button. There's a PayPal link down there for anybody that wants to share some love. All is appreciated. Could certainly use it. And of course, the StreamYard link is down there for anybody who wants to join the panel. We got some corny pops craving Jack's apple tonight. All the insanity of their Babble. Going through some videos again tonight to see what's going on in the world around us and how insane it's becoming, and urging people to get into the research and learn what you're saying before you say it. The idiocy that is propounded by people that supposedly know the law and are supposedly supposed to be enforcing the law, but making victims out of people because they don't know the law, because they don't even know what the fuck they're saying. It's pathetic. And this is 2024. For crying out loud, we have some of the greatest advances in the history of all mankind in today's technology, and we're not using it right. We're using it as platforms for this popularity contest. It's sick. It's the greatest library on earth. So let's get into it. We have the first one here. Cop commits a crime and then shows up at the scene to investigate the crime he committed. This is about evidently a intoxication accident. But the problem is that the guy that was intoxicated, evidently being off the clock at the time, is a public official, a police officer himself. And so the law is for thee, but not for me. We're going to take a look at that. So, in a sense, they know the evidence against them, and they know that they've broken the law, but yet they're going to cover it up for themselves while asking everybody else for ID and asking them to self-incriminate. Quit babbling. Coin your words or purse your lips, folks.
I'm going to tell you this, okay? Yeah. Did you wipe blood off the driver's side door?
Just now?
Yeah.
I went over there and I checked the door.
Okay. Because there's blood on the driver's side door. Okay. Do not be on this.
Oh my God, Paul.
Just calm down.
Dude.
I'm only saying this because shit ain't adding up. Ashley called me.
Shit ain't adding up. Ashley called me. Shit ain't adding up. And he already knows it's one of his buddy's cars. And that's why he's saying shit isn't adding up.
Welcome back to We the People University. My name is Abaya Israel, former police officer and former sheriff's deputy. Today, we're taking a look at the Sauk Prairie Police Department and two officers who attempted to destroy evidence and cover it up in order to cover their tracks. Well, actually, it was one officer who was drunk driving, and he ran his car off of a embankment cliff, whatever it was, a little small. It was from a high place. You guys will see it here in a second. He ran his car through a guardrail, and if you look at the car, I mean, it's totaled. You would think that the guy could have been killed. But what does he do? He goes home. He gets ready for work with his uniform on, probably still hungover, calls the officers, calls the sheriff's department and tell them, hey, someone else stole my car and I don't know where it is. And from that point, the cover up begins. Let's just jump right in real quick and we'll see more what I'm talking about, and we'll talk here more in a second.
I'm a professional walker in town, and I noticed that down there.
Yeah, let's see this. 7-1 Sauk, I'm on scene. I'm gonna have to go down the other side.
No, you can go down there and walk up the trail, but it's icy.
That's fine.
911, what's the address of the emergency? Okay, tell me exactly what happened.
My vehicle's gone. Somebody took my car.
Like stolen?
Like stole my car, yeah.
Okay. Are you at home right now?
I am, but I'm on my way to work. So if I could meet the deputy at my work. I'm a police officer at Sauk Prairie Police Department.
We got a lot of stuff going on.
it police restart?
Yeah, that looks pretty bad, doesn't it, folks? Yeah, that looks pretty bad. That's totaled.
7-1 sock, just for 43. There's nobody in the vehicle.
10-4. Copy, direct. We're going to continue on until we get a search of the area. Damn it.
So first off, I want to point out they would never if I was involved in a situation like this and somebody stole my car and crashed it, and they started investigating it the next morning upon a call, they would never allow me myself as a victim, no matter what capacity I'm in. They would never allow me as a victim to go in and get involved with the investigation. The only way I would be involved would be through external questioning. So right away, we see something wrong.
Well, somebody's got to be injured out of this. There's blood on the side of that door. There's blood on the side of that door.
So just imagine the same officer who shows up to your home if you call the police officer there to your home is the same guy who would show up to his own scene of a crime where he's actually the guilty party and pretend as if he has no clue of what's happening. He's really trying to act like, hey, how did the car get here? Knowing that he is the one who placed it there. He made the call, filed a false police report, and how do you file a false police report and you're taking the false report that you're filing? I don't know, it's confusing. The point is this: the guy is covering up his tracks, and these are the same type of officers who show up to your home when you call them when you need help. This is why so many people say you never call the police. All right, they show up to your home, and no matter how right.
Absolutely. Do not call the police. Do not call the police. They will ask you for identification that says you're doing business. Understand what's going on, folks. They have no authority. It's a civil venue. So if there's an accident, rather than calling the police, you might want to call the tow company and the insurance company. The police have no authority. You can make your own statements to the insurance company without needing the police to investigate.
You are, no matter how many laws you can quote or even have them read, they're going to play like they don't understand. It's not that they really don't know, as we see by the guy in this video. He knows perfectly well what's going on. But instead of being a police officer, he should be in Hollywood because he's a great actor. But let's keep watching.
I don't see. Somebody's got to be fucked up from this because this.
Try to Zach Fire to talk. Chief 1 on location. We'll be investigating. We'll have plans.
And last night.
Intersection stage behind.
Airbags are deployed in it. Can you check the that was his claim. Check hospital. I'll have to call you back. This is a fucking mess. That was his claim. Check hospital. I'll have to call you back. This is a fucking mess.
More people to search.
Joel's car was stolen, and it's laying down off the 60 bridge. So yeah, it's totaled. So I don't know what's going on here. A lot of shit ain't adding up. So yeah. So, yeah, there's a lot of. Do you know what time you got home last night? Okay, because Ashley's all upset because this stays between you and I.
So his best bud, the one who was helping him cover this thing up, he's in his car. He's recording, and he's also on the phone with his girlfriend, the one who called him, telling him, hey, he dropped me off, and it was approximately 1 a.m. And from that point, I don't know what happened. And he's piecing this thing together. And he's also watching his friend go over to his car that he reported that someone else stole and wipe off the blood. He's destroying evidence. So he's filed a false report, destroyed evidence, all type of stuff, right? So he's watching this on camera. You guys may be surprised by the outcome of this, but let's keep watching.
He didn't get home till 1:07. No car. Yeah, so I don't know if he crashed his car.
The world we're living in today is drastically different a few years ago.
After he dropped you off, I don't know. Because like I said, I called him multiple times this morning. He didn't answer the phone. Yeah, he came about 6:30. He came on. He said his car's stolen. And so, yeah, I think when he dropped you off, he was probably drunk and he fell asleep. And I don't see injuries on him, but he should have injuries the way this car looks. This car is totaled. It's on the walking path underneath the 60 bridge that went through the guardrail. So I will talk to you later. I don't know what to think at this point. Here for a sec. I'm not going to be a dick, but I'm going to tell you this, okay?
Yeah.
Did you wipe blood off the driver's side door?
Just now?
Yeah.
I went over there and I checked the door.
Okay. Because there's blood on the driver's side door. Okay. Do not be on this.
Oh my God, Paul.
Just calm down.
Dude.
I'm only saying this because shit ain't adding up. Ashley called me. She said you got home about 1:07.
It was not 1:07. I already told her that. There's no way. Paul,
dude,
stop. This is not me. Oh my God.
Okay,
We're not having this conversation, dude.
Well, I just want to make sure that it's not.
I was. with you for fuck's sakes last night, dude.
Calm down.
Calm down.
I'm just making sure because I just don't want you to get in trouble if it was you.
Oh my God.
Okay.
I was with you last night.
I know that. But
and we did work.
He's saying we're not going to talk about this because he's afraid of getting caught up in his lies. He's already lied the one time when he asked him if he wiped the blood off, and there's actually video we saw earlier that showed him wiping the blood off.
Weren't drunk.
I know.
Jesus Christ, Paul.
Dude, we are going to have a conversation after this is done because there's a lot of shit that isn't adding up.
Sure.
So, and then.
Oh my God.
Don't get pissed at. Don't get pissed at me, dude. You gotta look at it how I see it, though.
Yep, you got to look at it how I see it, though. See, now he's involved in an investigation that may or may not lead to showing that his coworker is a guilty offender, and by him not doing due diligence to protect his own ass in this investigation, he could get caught up in conspiracy of covering things up. But guess which way he goes?
I left last night, and my girlfriend. No, I'll get a ride home. You gave my girlfriend a ride home, your car's crashed, and she only lives so many blocks away. You gotta kind of see where I'm seeing it from.
First of
Now,
all,
okay, now listen to me. There was blood on the side of that car, and now it's wiped off. So now I gotta explain that away.
Paul, there's blood all over the car.
Inside?
Yes.
Damn it, I did it again. And notice the look on his face when he asked him, or when he told him that there was blood on the side of, on the side of the car. And now it's gone. And the guy says to himself, "Oh my God!" as he closes his eyes. That's body language, showing that he's disgusted with himself because he knows he fucked up. Reading that kind of body language, if I was the other officer, I'd already know that he's lying. You should already know that he's lying.
So I'm just, you got to see it from my standpoint too, dude. Okay. Yeah. I'm just saying.
The fact that we're having a side conversation isn't like.
Okay. Well.
And I gave her a ride home.
Why you gave her a ride home doesn't matter. See, that's a deflection.
We've got 3 of us that are walking down by the river. Grocery copies.
What's up? I think it's just red stuff. I don't know.
So my last take, I said you guys may be surprised by the outcome, how this thing ended up. Let me take that back. You guys are not going to be surprised by how this ended up. So what happened? They figured out what happened. They figured out he was the officer. He filed the false report. It was his car. They knew he wiped the blood off the door, like, you know, all this type of stuff, right? He was only charged with a misdemeanor, and he was ordered to do some program. The deferred prosecution program is what he.
And in case you didn't see that on the bottom, it showed the misdemeanor, obstruction of justice. Or obstruction, what was it? Obstruction of something. It wasn't obstruction of justice. It was obstruction of
a misdemeanor.
Obstruction of an officer.
And he was ordered to do some program. The deferred prosecution program is what he was ordered to do. And after that, him and his buddy that was on scene with him, they were allowed to resign their positions just to go somewhere else and get a job somewhere else. I don't know where they got a job at, but I'm pretty sure it's somewhere. Somewhere. So again, my apologies. You guys are not going to be surprised by how this ends because this is pretty much the way it always ends. So with that being said, my entire point of sharing this video is when you call the police, these are the type of officers a lot of times that show up at your home. So this is why we share so many videos of rights violations when someone's reading the law, quoting the law, and the officer can still sit there with a straight face and pretend as if he has no clue of what's going on because he's acting. He knows what's happening. This is policing in America. Always record the police. As you guys can see, in some cases, these videos do a lot of good. Make sure you record the police and make sure you know your rights. With that being said, We the People University, signing off.
What do you use semi-automatic weapons for? To defend yourself against home invaders, but also, let's be clear, against tyranny. You said that.
Damn it, I did it again. I've got to quit this. I need a producer. Somebody, please help. No. The thing about the video we're looking at here is that the First Amendment is the freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of expression, right to petition the government for redress of grievance and peacefully assemble. Those are the 5 points. And it says that the Second Amendment was written to secure the first. I think it should have been done the other way around, where we have the First Amendment securing the Second Amendment, and the First Amendment would be the right to bear arms, and the Second Amendment would be your freedom of speech and all that. And that way, when it comes to the petition for redress of grievance of the government, you understand that we're taking the peaceful term rather than asserting the First Amendment of raising our arms and just taking you out of our misery.
You could use a semi-automatic weapon to fight tyranny.
Sure.
You mean you'd use it against American troops?
The very existence of the Second Amendment is designed purposefully to empower the people to be able to resist the force of tyranny used against them to step over their natural rights given to them by God.
And the tyranny used to step over them is the very language, the freedom of speech. See, you've been induced into this English language to babble all your life. That's the weapon. This is why I urge everybody to get back to the concise English, college construction, etymology, etiology, and epistemology. Find out the roots so you can use them for your advantage, because that's what we're supposed to be, knowledgeable creatures. Without that knowledge, it is used against us.
That is why the Second Amendment exists.
What do you use semi-automatic weapons for?
To shoot anything I need to. To shoot anything I need to. That's what it's used for, is shooting things. And it does a very good job at stopping things that might be coming at me. And it doesn't even matter whether I'm right or wrong. Because again, folks, it's not the possession, but the right to keep and bear arms. The bearing of arms is the showing that you're willing to use them. See, that's the point where people start understanding, well, maybe I shouldn't accuse that guy of being wrong or accuse him of doing something unless I'm damn well fucking sure, because he might shoot me. I hope you see the importance in that. The language is used against us as the main weapon, and it's distracting us from the real weapon we should have, and that is our physicality. This 1%, 2% oligarch that's trying to control all the people, they're doing a damn good job of it because they've induced you through the Babylonianized language. I urge you again, unlearn it and learn concise English.
to defend yourself against home invaders, but also, let's be clear, against tyranny.
You said that you could use a semi-automatic weapon to fight tyranny.
Sure.
You mean you'd use it against American troops?
Well, yeah, that's the definition of tyranny, is your own domestic government going against you, you dumb fuck. See, this is Nadler that couldn't even quote the Second Amendment when it was right in front of him, and the guy he's speaking to had to clarify out to him that, hey, you didn't quote it right. The right of the people, he expressly left out of the people. Can't do that. So yes, tyranny is the very definition of a domestic government enslaving its people.
Do you have your driver's license, registration, proof of insurance?
For what?
Can I get your driver's license?
For what?
And this is exactly what I'm talking about. They're going to ask you for your license because it's a commercial use. Okay?
I'll explain it to you.
Why would I give it to you? I'm not driving.
I'll explain it to you. No, you won't, because you can't explain it. You could never explain it as well as I do, dumb bitch. You're one of those ones that doesn't know the law. You're only there for a paycheck to enforce the law as you see it, and your discernment is very much void because you yourself will sit there and claim that you are a United States citizen while working for a private agency under their identification and never understand that you yourself are not a United States business.
Driving.
You were
I'm parked.
driving. I just saw you.
I'm parked.
Can I get your driver's license?
So you're stopping me?
Can I get your driver's license?
These are the kind of people that will always say, I am a United States citizen. And you can ask them, after they tell you that they are a United States citizen, you can ask them, well, what kind of business do you own? And they will tell you, no, I don't own one. Oh, so you are the business. No, I told you I don't own a business. And then if you ask them if they're a United States citizen, knowing that a United States citizen means a United States business, they'll still say, yes, I'm a United States citizen. Oh, so you're a business. What business are you? And they won't even be able to clarify that the business is the legal name.
License?
I don't have it. You can have my ID number.
Sure. What's your name?
D3593928.
Okay, you guys remember 19 CFR 149.3 data elements. So when they're looking for an identification, and we got to remember, this is a contract setup. So the buyer, the seller, or the ship to party, all three are allowed to use a commercially identifiable number in lieu of the name and address. So you can use a number to identify. Oops.
You want to do bacon pancakes?
Come on.
Okay. Bacon pancakes.
Do you have your driver's license, registration, proof of insurance?
For what?
Can I get your driver's license?
For what?
I'll explain it to you.
Why would I give it to you? I'm not driving.
You were
I'm
driving.
parked.
I just saw you.
I'm parked.
You were driving. I just saw you. Just because you see somebody passing down the road doesn't mean they're driving. Because again, if you don't understand the concept that for commercial purposes, that means you have to lay the presumption of being a driver down. That somehow you are carrying cargo or passengers for commercial purposes, either interstate or intrastate. And you, as a third-party viewer somewhere else, I don't care what kind of funny suit and badge you wear. I don't care if you got a big red nose and a hat strapped to your head and a big clown shoes and rainbow a suit on. I don't care. None of that makes a difference because the reality is you as a third-party observer cannot tell whether somebody else is actually performing commercially under a contract while they're going from point A to point B, unless you are privy to all of their business information showing that they have customers and business orders of producing buyers and sellers and ship to party addresses where they're taking those products and customers or passengers. It's illogical to think that these people know the law if they don't know the words.
Park.
Can I get your driver's license?
So you're stopping me?
Can I get your driver's license?
I don't have it. You can have my ID number.
Sure. What's your name?
D3593928.
What's your...
See, they're still looking for a name. He said you could have my number. She said, okay. Wrote it down and then asked him, what's your name? No, you already got the data elements required in this commercial transaction, as a commercially identifiable number has been used in lieu of the name and address.
real name?
What do you mean?
What's your real name? I'm sorry, you're asking for a legal name and then conflating it as a real name, when that name you're looking for, known as the first and last name, is actually a fictitious name. This is why I say, if it's a fictitious name, then it ain't mine because I don't have it and I can't have it. It's fiction. Do you hear me now?
What's your name? On your driver's license.
D3593928.
Is that your driver's license number?
Yes, it is. All my information will be on there.
What's your name?
Don't worry about her. She's a passenger.
Not hers, yours.
See, he gave the number, and she's still asking for the name. Come on.
What does it say on your driver's license?
Franklin Ornelas.
Okay, when's your birthday?
Now she's going to ask for the birthday. See, I'm not going to give this shit. I'm going to give them specifics. And I'm going to let them write it down. If they want to write it down as first and last name and go by that, that's just more power to me to be able to prove that they don't know what the fuck they're talking about and that they are lying, because I never gave them such information as far as data elements. I didn't give them a first and last name. I made that a specific point. I didn't give them a birth date. I made that a specific point. It's a point of law, not your legal descriptions.
It should be on there.
When's your birthday?
It should be on there if you want to look it up.
Well, I need to know from you.
For what am I being pulled over for?
No, you don't need to know from you. The individual's name and number identify the record, and he was allowed to give a commercially identifiable number in lieu of the name and address, and you can use that to identify the individual through the name and number, which is the record.
So your plate, that plate is not legal. You have to have the California plate. That's
Yeah, it's not legal, but it's lawful. It's not legal under license, but it's lawful. And that's the problem I have with some of these videos. You'll notice the guy gave his driver's license number, so he does have a driver's license. But that doesn't mean he's on the clock 24/7, folks. Again, it implies that she understands what driver means, and she evidently doesn't. Not only that, but she doesn't understand many other data elements by the use of those terms and conditions she's employed in using.
white and red. Do you have your driver's license, registration proof?
What's up, guys? Welcome back.
This is a little
back. You ever play reverse?
This is a little reverse psychology trick that I hope people will catch on to, because this is what I'm talking about. If they don't understand the words and terms and stuff, and you do, you can flip that script. Okay? So watch what happens when a DUI checkpoint starts demanding identification from this guy.
Psychology on someone and it actually works, you're absolutely going to love this quick video. It's less than a minute long, so make sure you watch it all the way through. This guy.
Want to go through the checkpoint?
Final thoughts at the end.
Good to go. Go straight.
I can't go through checkpoint?
You want to go through the checkpoint?
I was going to
Go to
accept.
the right.
Okay.
Feel free. We're in the right amount of.
See, they were going to let him go, and he asked to go through the checkpoint. Guess why he asked to go through the checkpoint?
Cars, you're welcome to.
Thank you, sir. How you doing tonight?
Good yourself.
What's your name and badge number?
Oh.
Oh, see, he wants him to identify before he even goes through the checkpoint.
Oh. 7820584. I'd have to look. Park.
Ah.
I'd have to look. The fuck you do. I still remember the phone number that I had when I was a kid when I was living with mom and dad. Obviously, I still remember my social security number too. And this guy, I guarantee you, knows his name and badge number off the top of his head. Come the fuck on.
Sir, you have not been selected. Go to the left here.
Okay.
And you can pull out. I'll back you
Absolutely.
up.
He caught on real quick, didn't he? Yeah, we got a guy that wants to go through there. He wants to know my name and badge number. He's okay. Pass him through. So instead of denying shit and arguing with them, they understand the concept of somebody admitting that they might be intoxicated. Well, if he's that forward with it, and you walk up right up to his window and talk to him, and oh, okay, yeah, it catches them off guard real quick. But then that psychology is, wait a minute, he's not drunk.
Man, you all right? Call Ray Reynolds at 800-709-2933. 800-709-2933.
So they're basically just going to tell him to pull away. That's what we get to. It's pretty sickening how this stuff works, folks. But I'm telling you, if you learn how to flip the script, you're going to do a lot better. And here's a good one.
Try Puffs Plus Lotion when your allergies begin. They help soothe and relieve sensitive skin.
Hey, how's it going? There he is, Mr. Mysterious. I'm sorry, what? Or should I call you Mr. CIA since you're so secretive?
Didn't mean to be secretive. We're new to the neighborhood.
And this goes to the point of Karens. You've moved into a gated community and realize you've made a terrible mistake. See, folks, when we gather up elbow to elbow in these huge concrete societies going skyward, we're going to end up in the same kind of situation. And so let's listen to this and listen to how it plays out. I mean, gated community. How big is this gated community if this guy lives 3 blocks away? And this is, I understand this is satirical, but this is literally what it's coming to, folks.
Haven't gotten a chance to meet everyone. My name's Jim, by the way. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, I wouldn't exactly say that you're new here.
Okay.
You know, I saw the moving trucks out on your driveway over 2 weeks ago.
Right.
And by the way, one of them was actually sticking out outside the curb. Very dangerous situation. I'm just glad no one was killed.
Yeah, thank God. Well, good news is we're done with moving. No need to worry about trucks anymore. We're finally settled in.
Yeah, you had 2 weeks to settle in, and then not one time did you bother to give me an introduction.
Oh, yeah. the new guy in the community is required. Okay, see, this is the placation of laws and emotions and flipping the script. These guys think the new guy that moves into a community is somehow required to report to them. That because they've been there in the community longer and have some kind of fucked up fucking authority. Come the fuck on. Again, excuse my language, but this is ridiculous. This is why I want my own piece of land where I can do as I need to and be me. I don't need somebody else trying to tell everybody else who I am and what I can and can't do, because that ain't none of your fucking business.
Okay.
Nor did you give Barbara nor Dean. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. We're a little offended.
Sorry, who's?
I hope you're real fucking offended. I hope you're real fucking offended. Because I think God's pretty fucking offended. I think the way we're going today in this society, I think God is pretty fucking offended. I'm sure he is. He's got to be. Whatever that God is. It's an offense to the very creation that created us to behaving like this towards each other. It's fucking pathetic.
Who's Barbara and Dean?
Barbara and Dean, they live about 3 blocks from here near me.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, they're very disappointed.
Well, we didn't mean to offend anybody. We've just been busy with moving. You know, if you guys knocked on our door, we would have been more than happy to invite you in.
Okay. Okay. So it was my responsibility to go to your house. Is that
Exactly. So how does it become my responsibility to go to everybody else's house? See, if you claim no responsibility, then why should I? See, that's the negation of equal consideration, equal benefit. So rather than him coming back with, so now you think it's my responsibility, he should have equated it, and this is the way I believe we all should act. Well, yeah, I guess you're right there. I could have come over here first. My apologies. See, when we start requiring other people to do things for us, for our benefit, and not put any consideration for their benefit into it, like he said, he just moved in 2 weeks ago. For crying out loud, I know I've moved and spent a couple weeks unpacking just because I was still working and doing everything else as a single man and didn't have any friends in the new area. You know what I'm saying?
what you're saying?
No, I'm saying.
You know, this is a problem with this generation. No effort. No effort. It's all me, me, me.
Absolutely. No effort, all me, me, me. And here we go with another one about identification.
So I'm the passenger in the vehicle, and you're asking for my license?
I'm asking for your license, yes.
And I'm the passenger.
I'm asking for your license. You're asking for my license? And I'm the passenger? Yes, I'm asking for your license. And see, they already know they're not supposed to. So, again, this is one of those situations where you flip the script, and this video will show you that you can flip that script by knowledge. These people do know this. They do know that they're not supposed to be asking the passenger for their ID because the passenger is not actually involved. But yet they still placate that they can ask. You just don't have to give. Expressing that they do know, in fact, the situation about the ID. Again, do not call the police and do not give ID. You shouldn't have it, in my opinion.
In the vehicle?
Yes.
Because, I'm sorry, why again?
And she said something came up.
What'd you say?
No, so you said something came up, you said.
Yes, something came up. I need to check something. Are you refusing?
Yes, I am, because I'm not the driver, so I'm confused. How you doing, man?
Doing all right. How you doing?
Yeah. So so he got pulled over for tinted windows, right? Oh, don't scream too loud, Dre.
I have a family just like you have a
So
family.
he got pulled over for tinted windows.
My son, which I explained to you.
Your officer told me she came to the passenger door and said, "Give me your ID. I need your ID and your license, your identification." I said, "Why?" She said, "All of a sudden something came up." What does that mean?
Okay, so I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I'm not going to tell you a story. Obviously, I wasn't here when you initially got pulled over.
Dre, you loud. Don't be too loud.
The reason why I got called to the scene is because your father. This is your father.
It's my uncle.
Your uncle. So when my partner ran your uncle's name, right? Sometimes our computer will give us a generic warrant result.
Sometimes our computers will give it a generic warrant result. So again, this goes to the aspect that Samuel Clemens, as Mark Twain, wrote about a guy named Tom Sawyer. And I'll be damned if Tom Sawyer doesn't live. Tom Sawyer and Tom Sawyer and Tom Sawyer. There's lots of Tom Sawyers, just like there's a lot of Keith Littles. So when they run a warrant and it says Keith R. Little, I can assure them that is not me. Same situation here. This is why it's so important to know the knowledge and what that ID is and how it works and what its intent is. It is a United States business at the federal level, and it's for income tax purposes at the state resident level as a federal, state, or municipal officer or agent. So you have to be a federal employee or contractor with the federal government.
Name is similar in the computer system. So when she initially ran his driver's license, she got a hit saying that he's a wanted person by the New York City Police Department. So I came over, I looked at her computer screen, verified it's not the same person. The name is very similar, but the date.
What does that have to do with the passenger?
Again, I wasn't here when you initially got pulled over, but look at it from our standpoint.
Your officer is letting me know that you were wrong. You understand that you were wrong, right?
You're allowed to refuse, but I'm allowed to ask for your license.
I'm allowed to ask for the license, but you're allowed to refuse. Understand that. This goes to the stop and frisk statutes and stuff about reasonable articulable suspicion. You can ask all you want, but I have a right to refuse. I don't give a rat's ass if you even have a probable cause with reasonable articulable suspicion. You're the one investigating. You do your job. I'm standing by my Fifth Amendment. I don't give a fuck. I'm unlicensed and I don't give a fuck.
But you know your officer explained that you were wrong. You understand that or you don't?
Well, I'm allowed to ask for your license and you're allowed to refuse.
You're right. Have a good day. So we're done.
I'm allowed to ask for your license and you're allowed to refuse. Okay? And when it comes to the Ken Scott focusing on the date of the birth certificate record, not same as birthday, I don't give a rat's ass. Understand it for what it is. Evidence of a United States business in the form of a bond, clarifying there's some kind of surety, and it ain't me. It's your data elements. That's it. It's your legal name. You constructed it, not me. And neither did my mom.
Now to
This next one goes
shocking.
This next one goes to the Karens and how bad it's getting. And I want to point out that the insanity is reaching such a level that it's affecting people that have had no criminal actions in their entire life. But again, it's not because of the laws. It's because everybody wants to gather up tightly knit in these goddamn communities, elbow to elbow, and they get frustrated by other people. And again, this stems from an interaction between children, and a full-grown man can't hold himself back against children. And he's never had a record in his life. What is making people snap like this? their own miscomprehension of what is in fact going on right before their own very eyes. This system is not developed for man. It's developed for commerce. And there are very few men left. In the 70s, they came in and bought up all the farmland. Not many of them left. That's where our products used to come from. Timber rights, mining rights, agricultural produce. Your wealth doesn't come from the business in the city. Your wealth is derived from outside, and the business centers are the cities. You want to live within that business? Go ahead. That's fine. You want to follow by those corporate rules? That's fine. Matter of fact, let me pull something up real quick to remind you of a thing called the 5 Mile Act. The 5 Mile Act was intended to prevent nonconformist ministers from coming within 5 miles of any corporation that returned members of parliament, or any parish where they had been minister or priest since 1660. See what it says under the 5 Mile? That was under legislation, Queen Mary University of London. That was from London. This next one is from Wikipedia, and it says basically the same thing, but it says was an act of Parliament of England passed in 1665 with the long title, an act for restraining nonconformists from inhabiting in corporations. It was one of English penal laws that sought to enforce conformity to established Church of England and to expel any who did not conform. It forbade clergymen from living, visiting, or preaching within 5 miles of a parish from which they had been expelled, or to come within 5 miles of any city, town, or borough that sends members to Parliament unless they swore an oath to never resist the king or attempt to alter the government or church or state. The latter involves swearing to obey the 1662 prayer book. Today, they swear an oath to the Constitution. How's that working for you, folks? Are you United States citizens still? I hope so. I'd like to see you continue in that babble. Did you hear me lie there? I hope you hate it. I hope you hate it so much that for no other reason than but for your own knowledge, you stop what you're doing and re-educate yourself. Do everything you can to become autodidactic. Fuck the public education indoctrination propaganda system. It's just another brick in their wall.
Attacked at a public park.
The disturbing crime was caught on camera, and wait until you hear why that suspect says he did it. CBS News Miami's Peter Dent joins us live from the scene with the very latest. Peter.
Well, Elliot and Lauren, as children play tonight right here at Gwen Margolis Park, Sunny Isles Beach police tell us they're very concerned about this case and they're trying to figure out exactly what prompted this incident. They say it happened just before 6 at night as 2 children were playing with water guns and they started to fight, and then one of their parents intervened. Police say this cell phone video shows a man grabbing a 10-year-old boy by the neck and shaking him. You see the child's head bobbing back and forth. His face is blurred to protect his identity.
The biggest concern here is that a grown man with the strength of a man went after a young child that was helpless and could not, obviously, based on size alone, could not defend himself.
It is just...
And I can see physically restraining children that are way out of line, but 2 children fighting, I can see grabbing those children and separating them. But what I don't see is grabbing one by the neck. Come the fuck on, people. We're full-grown men and women. We need to start acting like it so these children can grow up knowing what real men and women do act like.
Just before 6 at night on Memorial Day at Gwen-Margolis Park, police say this victim and another child were playing with water guns when that child's father, 60-year-old Robert Marcoux, intervened when the youngsters started fighting.
It was at this time that that individual approached one of the children involved in that little child's play fight and went ahead and began to violently choke this child, pretty much scare this child to the point that he was crying hysterically and very upset.
The arrest report says that juvenile's father grabbed TB by the neck, impeding his breathing and restricting his airway and shaking him around while still gripping his neck. That left him with red marks and scratches.
Apparently it was all prompted by this little fight between these two kids or some kind of issue that had been going on with these two children.
The arrest report said Marcoux...
And she said it perfectly. This little fight. So again, I ask, what is causing people to act so insanely that something so little, a squirt gun fight that led into a physical altercation, a little physical altercation as she described it, between two little boys, that a full-grown man has to start physically abusing one of them? How does that come to be?
Said, I know what I did, and I did it to teach him a lesson.
No, you did it because you got in your emotions. That doesn't teach them any lesson, but that, hey, if I get physical with somebody and somebody breaks it up and gets physical with somebody, that just teaches me that somebody just breaks it up. They don't learn the real consequences.
Aggravated child abuse and battery by strangulation. Can you afford to hire a lawyer?
Yes. In bond court, Marcoux told Circuit Judge Mindy Glazer he wanted to talk about the case.
Well, your judge, the incident was minor.
Don't talk about the facts.
Yeah, the incident was minor, and yet you blew up over it.
You're presumed not guilty. You have a right to have a lawyer be in court with you.
Now, Sergeant Melissa Porro tells us that while the youngster was shaken up, he is physically okay. She also told us that a check of record shows that he's had no serious problems before. The suspect in this case with law enforcement right now is being held on $5,000 bond. We are live in Sunny Isles Beach. Peter Dench, CBS.
Sickening. Another situation, but against a pet. And this is heinous. Heinous that people would act this way. And I'm of the same kind of this next one. My dogs, they ain't just pets. Them's my family. I don't know if I could be as calm as this guy. You fuck with my dog.
This tiny home trend, not for me. Now, this is more like it. The same goes for my footwear. So I went hands-free with wide fit Skechers slip-ins. Just step in and go without...
The police will be over at my neighbor Karen's house shortly. Why? Oh, let's get into it. Just like every single morning, I come out here and I enjoy my coffee as my dog runs around, goes to the bathroom, and plays. And when Milo is outside, he likes to grab sticks and start chewing on them. And this morning was no different. Except this morning, he wasn't running around with a stick in his mouth playing. He was over at the fence line, laying down and chewing. Okay, it is a little warm today, so maybe he's laying down in the shade next to the fence line just chewing on a stick. I finish my cup of coffee and I call him to go inside. He was a little slow to get up, but again, it is hot outside today and maybe he's just tired. After we're inside for a little bit, he starts coughing. Not just a little cough, coughing hard like it's a struggle. And then he pukes over and over and over again. Naturally, I start thinking, okay, what the fuck is going on and what the fuck did he eat outside? So I walked outside. Okay, well, he was chewing on something on the fence line. Let me go take a look what's over there. And I find these spread out 1 or 2 feet from the fence line. I pick one up and it's been clearly chewed. Now, I don't
I absolutely agree with you, Robert Scott. It's called job security. The more people they allow out in the community to act insane and belligerent and violent and get physical with each other, the more it calls for them. Again, stop calling the police. Learn how to deal with this shit on your own.
recognize these dog treats. These are not the ones I normally buy for him. Now, it is very possible that my wife went and got treats, and these were the ones that she bought for him, and he got sick because his stomach can't handle them. And then I bring it to my nose and smell it. Now, there is a smell that I recognize, but I just can't quite place my finger on it. I go inside and ask my wife, hey, did you buy Milo these? No, I know you buy the treats for Milo because you're extremely picky about what he eats. Still a little confused about what's going on, I start cleaning up Milo's puke. I grab the mop, I grab the bucket, I fill the bucket full of water, I pour bleach into the mop bucket, and then the smell hits me like a fucking freight train. I run, grab one of the treats, and smell it, and wouldn't you know it, it smells like bleach. Yeah, somebody put bleach on these dog treats. And seeing as the treats were 1 or 2 feet away from the fence line to Karen's house, who do you think my first thought is? I scoop up my dog and I rush him to the vet. The vet confirmed that he definitely ingested something that is poisonous to him. So I called the police on their non-emergency number and let them know what's going on. Now I am stuck at home waiting for the police as my wife and kids are with Milo as he fights for his life. Oh, Karen, if you think those harmless little pranks that I've pulled inconvenienced your life, let's see how creative I can get when you actively try to unalive one of my family members. And make no mistake about it, my dog is part of my family, and therefore he is my family member. You're about to...
Absolutely. Absolutely. And like I said, I don't know how this man held it together. I'm irate myself just listening to this, because that's how much I care. I can't find myself bringing harm to any animals. This is egregious that people would, and I'm betting this woman is likely calling herself a Christian. And that's the sick part about it. We live in this such grandiose Christian society. Pathetic.
To get fucked, Karen. Merch link in bio.
Again, this is an older video. Milo is fine. He is happy. He's doing well. I just wanted to reshare this video, but nobody get freaked out or anything like that. Everything is good over here. We left that situation. We left that neighborhood. That person has already paid for their crime, what they did. We're good over here. Nobody get freaked out or worried.
So I'm absolutely glad that it worked out. But like I said, I'm still irate about it. That's I don't know how things like that can go through a person's mind, that they would be so devious that in their emotional hurt feelers, nothing else is done. No, there's no damage done other than hurt feelers, and they want to actually kill. This is fucking outrageous, just like the previous video. It was just a little fight. And they want to get physical because their feelers hurt. Explain to me how your feelers hurt. Explain the pain. And this is what we're getting to. Make America Alito again. Why I fly an upside down flag at my house. And you have every right to do so, particularly in a declared emergency. Remember that, folks. And before we get into it, I want to remind folks that you really have to understand how this stuff works. And though the guy's got a good premise on hanging his flag upside down, I want to remind you he did not hang it upside down. He hung it backwards. See, flags are supposed to hang on a bar going across the top and hang straight down. The blue with the stars is supposed to be up here on the left, and then all the stripes going down. He just flipped it this way. He did not turn it upside down. Again, a flag hangs horizontal. On a pole outside, it will fly in the wind. But inside buildings, they're technically supposed to be hung downward. Not across, as we always see the flag.
Okay, there's a lot of reasons why we're turning our flag upside down. I'm a patriot. I don't believe in burning flags.
And if you have any questions about that, read the law of the flag. Law of Nations, law of the flag. Tells you exactly how them flags are supposed to be flown and hung.
When the Supreme Court, Sam Alito's wife, turned the American flag upside down, liberals went nuts. Man, let me get this flag off here without it touching the ground. Liberals went nuts. And that's good. We want the liberals to go nuts. We're going to flip our flag upside down because when Trump is made into a felon by a fake court, by a fake rule of law, fake court, you're in the...
And he's, again, I don't support this guy. I support the simple message that he's putting out. It's not fake law. It's not, not fake courts. They're absolutely real, but they have an intended purpose, and people just don't seem to understand those intended purposes or the rules they're supposed to follow.
Final season. This is my favorite Netflix series. You're in the final season of the United States of America. It's almost over. Got it. Okay, this flag's going upside down because, number one, Sam Alito's wife put out the distress signal and she got slammed by the Democrats, and the Democrats went nuts on her. They cried, they had a period, and we're laughing at them. And then they said that it was a J6 thing, which is ridiculous. I'm telling you what this means right now. Post-modernity, this is my truth. I'm telling you. So don't, Democrats, I'm using your modernity, subjectivism against you, okay? I decide what this means. This has nothing to do with January 6th. You crybaby, you apparatchiks, you Marxist, socialist, garbage pail, ruiners of my country. I'm turning upside down also because Trump got fake news called a felon. He got indicted as a felon by a fake justice system in a fake... Americans now know that you should be terrified in New York because the rule of law is broken. So let's go outside. We're going to show our colors. It's an appropriately rainy day. And we fly our protest flag.
And see, though it's close to being hanging horizontally, or excuse me, vertically, outside like that, again, it's not, because if it was, it's still holding the blue stars and everything, the blue background with the white stars at the top. When you hang a vertical flag upside down, it would be the blue background with the stars at the bottom.
God is good. He's in control. There is no fear. There is no despair. The American people will turn this around. The Democrats and the Marxists did not make this country. The American patriot did. So they can't take it without a fight. Come take a video.
I am. Oh, he's big.
I'm terrified. You see?
Little snapping turtle. I guess I didn't watch the whole video. I mean, if you're into snapping turtles, but we'll at least watch it as we go out. Because again, folks, this is what I'm talking about. The societal psychopathy that we get into when we end up bumping elbows in these communities where we're restricted to small homes and miniature cars and scooters and stuff, with cities rising to the skies. That sounds like Babylon to me, you know, and they're using that colorful language to do so. It's amazing how many times I can repeat this and people just don't seem to comprehend. Nude Guru, spot on. You know, I talk about the Indian reservations, and it's amazing. People don't really think about it, but that's exactly what they are. They're concentration camps where they concentrate the majority of those people into a small area. And these are the people that were traveling and sojourning across this land for thousands of years. It's amazing. Because again, why are we concerned with concentrating in places when we're told, through the Christian scriptures anyway, it says that the 12 tribes were supposed to go out amongst the world and create nations of men. So comprehensively, there are supposed to be commercial centers, but they're for men. The living souls are supposed to go outside of those centers during their private times of the day to their own abodes and leave the commercial center as a commercial center. You're not supposed to live in that commercial center. It's supposed to be a marketplace that you can shut down. Just like a church, when nobody's gathering at church, you shut it down. Instead, we've turned that marketplace into our living environment. Our living environment is in nature. Our commercial environment is in the societies of men, the nations of men. And again, Jeremiah 1:5. Before I formed thee in the womb, I knew thee. Before thou wast cast from that womb, I sanctified thee and ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. We're not supposed to be living in these societal nations. Those are for commerce. See, the people that are in 24-hour call would be like the hospital and the fire station and the police station in case some vagabonds come along, or maybe some gypsies had their own wares and stuff that they were using as trade along their sojourn. And when they come upon these societies, they do those confidence games and get it over on men that aren't confident in the language. So they place it in the guy that's selling snake oil. That's all these societal centers are. It's a big confidence game. It's pathetic. Anyway, we've come to the end of the stream, and I want to remind everybody, please hit that like, share, and subscribe for me again. There's a PayPal link down there for anybody that wants to share some love. All is appreciated, and I could certainly use it. And then, of course, you know me. I love you, but I don't give a rat's ass whether you love me back. I say I don't care if you hate me. I don't care if you don't respect me. That's on you. So may God bless you, and have a good night. We'll see you next time.
Hey, you